So, we're coming to the last 12 sutras of our course. So, before we start the last 12 sutras, let me ask you, you remember when Patty came here last week to speak to you about the Koshas, you remember?
Very interesting.
Yeah, it's very interesting, isn't it? So who are you? What are the layers that you are made up of? Who can tell me? What's the first layer? Physical. Good girl.
Anamaya Kosha.
Yeah, good. Everybody, you need to know this. What's the first layer?
Physical.
Anamaya Kosha, and it's related to your body. Right? So your body is your temple. It's the most dense kosha, the most dense sheath. Kosha means sheath. We are made up of 5 sheaths. In meditation, we're trying to get in touch with who we really are. So first of all, we have to understand the physical sheath is the densest and made out of matter. What is it made out of? The 5 elements. Do you know?
Earth, wind, fire, ether.
Fire.
Yeah, that's it. The 5 elements. This is really important to know. It may not sound important. Yeah, air, earth, air, fire, water, and ether.
How do you spell ether?
E-T-H-E-R. Ether in Sanskrit is also called Akasha. A-K-A-S-H-A. Write that down. Akasha. Also, Akasha, also known as prana. Also known as chi. You know the chi energy? Also known as ki. So that's the body is made up of those 5 elements. The reason why it's very important to know that is because it's like anything you study in life. When you study it and you understand it totally, and you concentrate on it and you focus on it, you will discover the truth about it. And that's why it's important to know all these things. You know, how did Einstein split the atom? What did he do? He focused and he focused and he focused until he was ready to split it. And then he saw the truth. Most scientists, how do they work? Doctors, how do they discover things? By tuning in. What is discover? It's already all there. It just becomes uncovered. The mind is so focused that it taps it from the universe. Electricity was always there, but it's only in the 1800s, late 1800s, that it was tapped, right? By the mind. But it was always there. It was always there for all those centuries. But the mind didn't go there, so it wasn't tapped. So it takes one person with one mind that is so focused or reincarnated to discover it. So if you think light only came 200 years ago, computers really emailed the last 50, 60 years. Not even that. Not even that. Last, what, 10, 20 years?
No.
Yeah, something like
20.
No, when I was 30 years ago, when I was 20, I demonstrated the very first word processors and personal computers.
Yeah, so 30 years ago.
30 years.
Yes, I was in university when I was 17, and we had already started
exactly
using
right.
computers, in the States, yes. So, and now look at technology. So, we don't know anything. We really don't know anything. We think we live in a very intelligent era. But there's much more to be discovered in such a short time. Look what we have discovered. What else is there for us? Beam up, Scotty. Any of you watch Star Trek? Obviously you didn't understand that. You're too young. Some of you are too young. Beam up, Scotty, right?
Yes.
So we don't know. We just don't know. So, and so focusing on who you are and what you are made up of will help you to understand the object that is you. You are the object that you are studying in meditation. You are the object. There is so much to do with you to transform, to change in the sense of to be your best. So much in this one body. Why would you waste your time wanting to transform anybody else? Why would you want to waste all that energy and that time trying to change somebody that you can never change? The only person you can change is you. So use that dynamic focus to understand what you are, who you are, and then with the tool of meditation, practice, and non-attachment, you will discover the truth about who you are. Thank you, Shanti. So let's look at then the Annamaya Kosha is your physical sheath. Okay, that's dense, made up of the 5 matter. Then the next sheath is
Pranamaya Kosha.
good. Pranamaya Kosha. Can you all say it?
Pranamaya Kosha.
Okay, so you've got Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya. I'm helping you to study, so study with me. Okay? Annamaya, physical. Pranamaya, breath, body. Now, isn't it incredible? The one thing we have that we can physically do to connect the mind with the body, is he distracting everyone?
They're just cute together.
I know, but nobody's listening.
No.
What is she saying?
It's rubbing against the microphone. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's just it sounds like it's a storm going on.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you want to play there? Lev?
They come and play with the
Yeah.
remote.
Yeah. No, maybe they can play over there. It's
No,
nice.
we know it's up. I just realized they can play together in our house.
Are you sure?
Chico, pak de bal. Pak de bal. Ga maar een keer.
Sorry. I'd love to watch them, but we're all watching them. I see all the eyes going up. I go, maybe we should just forget about it. Should we?
No,
And then you can tell us about the trick. That's better.
Okay, I'll tell you about the trip at the end.
Okay,
I really,
okay.
I have
Yeah.
a job to do. My duty is to give
Yeah.
you as much information as you can get so you can be on your way to make yourself a
Okay.
more interesting subject for this world. Should we put it like that? A more useful subject and more fun subject and a subject full of laughter for this world. That's my job and I have to do that. Otherwise I fail, right? So let's go back to work. So we got Pranamaya Kosha. So the Pranamaya Kosha is your breath body. Now, isn't it interesting? We have a tool in the breath. We have a tool. Because when you start to breathe, you can use the breath body to slow down your physical body. And you can use your breath body to slow down your mind. The next body that we come into is Manomaya Kosha. Can you say it?
Manomaya Kosha.
Okay? Mano. Mano means mind. Alright? Now watch this. This is here is your physical body, Annamaya Kosha. Then you got breath body.
Pranamaya Kosha.
Then you've got mind,
Manomaya
Manomaya Kosha. So the Pranamaya Kosha is in between the physical and the mind. And you have actually something physical you can do when the mind is going all over the place. You can physically use prana, breath, to stop the mind. That's why pranayama is such an important tool. Give it to now. It's okay, Hannah's getting her in.
Use the other door. That's easier.
Wow, Ole went to get it. Ole went to get her. It's okay, it's done.
Only went to get it. She didn't come that way.
Yeah, thank you. So, one of those days. What can we do? So, pranayama is so powerful. It is so incredible. It's a really great practice. You know, once we finish all these 12, if we have time, I'd like to spend one whole session just on pranayama. Because it is one of the most powerful ingredients you have tools you have in your life. Because sometimes you try to meditate, the mind goes all over the place. Sometimes you use all kinds of techniques, it doesn't work. But if you keep breathing slowly, it is so effective to stop the mind thinking. And this is why sometimes in pranayama we use a force of retention. Retention is holding the breath. As you hold your breath, you actually feel a spot here. Stop thinking for a while. Even one split second will give you a rest. Even one split second. So pranayama, Maya Kosha is a very important kosha to develop in yourself. Use it use it, practice regularly, pranayama. Then we go to Manomaya Kosha, your mind stuff. More subtle, you're getting more subtle. Can you touch your mind? You can't touch it. It's subtle. But what can you do with your mind?
Try to control.
Yeah, I don't like the word so much control. Because control sounds like stress.
Focus.
Restrain, bring it
Restrain.
in, restrain. What does Sri Patanjali say? Yogas chitta vritti nirodha. The restraint of the modification of the mind stuff is yoga. Restrain, the minds will come up. Restrain it. You're not controlling it. You say, hey, it's like a horse, you know, when it's going well, you pull the reins in. Same thing with the mind. Okay, it's going there. Pull the reins in. You're not controlling, you're just pulling the reins in so that the horse goes at a nice gallop and not too fast. Goes too fast, if the mind goes too fast, you may fall down and break your neck. So this is the same with the mind. Control it as if you're holding the reins of a horse, all right? So that's Manomaya Kosha. It's responsible for your thought pattern. The next kosha is Vijnanamaya Kosha. Can you all say it? Vijnanamaya Kosha. Vijnanamaya Kosha. Again.
Vijnanamaya Kosha.
Which is the intellect. Intellect, not yet going to peace. Intellect, your intellect. We call it buddhi. Can you say it?
Buddhi.
B-U-D-D-H-I, buddhi. Your intellect. Now, that's going even deeper. There is your mind. There is your intellect. The intellect, what does it do? It can decipher information that comes through the mind, right? So the intellect or the buddhi can decipher the information, and with this information can decide what to do. In Sutra 28 of Book 2, Sri Patanjali tells us, by the practice of the 8 limbs of yoga, what happens? There dawns the light of wisdom, leading to discriminative discernment. So, when you practice the 8 limbs of yoga, right? When you practice yama niyama, your intellect becomes, your buddhi becomes refined. Your intellect becomes refined. Because now you know what to do to make the intellect refined. When the intellect is refined, it can tell the mind, okay, you know, if you do this, this is going to be the consequences. You don't want to do this, so don't do it. Meanwhile, your final kosha, which is Anandamaya Kosha, can you all say it?
Anandamaya Kosha.
The bliss body starts to awaken as you meditate. It starts to, you start to become aware that in you there is peace. That you start to realize it's not people or the world that can give you permanent peace. But there's some kind of bliss that you get from the practice, some kind of peace, some kind of joy. And then when that peace, when you start to even experience a little, what will you do? Your intellect will always want to make the right decisions, even though they're painful in the beginning. The Bhagavad Gita tells us, what is poison in the beginning will be nectar in the end. What is nectar in the beginning will be poison in the end. The example, when you first start studying about yourself, meditating, it's hard work, isn't it? Oh, why am I doing this? What a waste of time. When I just enjoy myself like everybody, blah, 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 and all this, da, 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 da. Am I wasting time? Then something happens and you realize, no, this is true. You know, I need to give myself more time. I need to do this for longer, because really the body dies. Normally when we hear about somebody's death, that's when we realize that really we are immortal and our life here is short. Haven't you noticed when somebody dies, a close friend, somebody that you love, you realize how short life is. So then you want to go back to your practices. When the bliss body is awakened, Anandamaya Kosha, then it will want it more and more. The energy will come into you more and more for the peace. So then it will affect your intellect. Decisions you will make will be more peaceful, which will in turn affect your mind stuff. Because if the decisions you make are more peaceful, then your mind is more quiet. If your mind is more quiet, your breathing will be tranquil. Your breathing is tranquil, your body will be healthier. So all in all, that way, that's what we're made up of. Now, when you experience your bliss body through meditation or through moments of silence or through moments even with when you feel extreme love, you often see it with parents and a child. There's this overflowing pouring of love that you can feel. It's blissful. There's situations in your life that are blissful. It almost feels that there are waves of joy that come through you. Have you felt it? Yeah, good. It's like waves. It feels like waves. It makes you feel very, very blissful. It's like grace coming through your body. And more through the practice of meditation, the more you experience it, the more you want. And then your whole life will change as a result of understanding what you are. And see who you are. Do you work more in the body? Do you work more in the mind? Do you work more with your breath? For example, Sari's here's job is working with pranayama. So what do you work well with? Use that and try to build up all the different bodies and understand who you are. So that's the reason why you study the kosha, to understand what you are made up of. And what is the goal? To touch Anandamaya Kosha. But that is all still in this body. When you touch Anandamaya Kosha, you become sattvic. Remember the 3 stages of the gunas? Rajas, tamas, satya, sattva. Well, you become more sattvic. Oh, I just remembered Gurudev's words. He used to say, when you have too much rajas, you become sick. When you have too much tamas, you become tamasic. But when you have sattva, you become sattvic. Vic for